Ladies and gentlemen and ninjas, welcome back upon the African Geekdom. It is I and I, Yaman JP. We are here today to have a talk, about a movie I just recently watched. I must admit, not my regular stuff to watch. I watched Nuremberg, which is about the Nuremberg trials. Heavy stuff, rather depressing, I would say. So, what I think of it? Well, that's why I'm here to talk. Hit that intro. So, Nuremberg, starring an ensemble cast, but let's face it, it's Remy Malik and Russell Crowe that we're here to see. But oddly enough, directed by somebody named James Vanderbilt, who, if I check, while written and directed by James Vanderbilt, he has not but two directing credits to his name. This is his second directing gig. A lot of writing credits. This guy has been quietly been nursing a wound or been building up his skills, because this is a well-directed movie. And for those who are not familiar with Nuremberg, it's the trial of the Nazi war criminals and the litigation of all that was done to Jewish prisoners in World War II in the concentration camps, which is, I must say, a part of my history class that I don't think we ever got to, unless you attended higher classes. I was never really aware of the Nuremberg trials. That said, this was a damn good movie and extremely informative. I do certainly believe that this right now, there's some messaging in the movie that is extremely relevant to our modern world and certain political practices that's going on right now. And you know me, I of course had my sons sit down to watch this. I felt that it was necessary for them to watch, educational. Don't get me wrong, the movie itself is not a lecture. It does strive to entertain as well as educate. For example, the relationship between Russell Crowe's character and Remy Malik's character of the psychologist Douglas Kelly, their interaction made for some good nail-biting screen time. Very reminiscent of, I would say, the interaction of Will and Hannibal Lecter in the Hannibal series, or Clarice and Hannibal Lecter in the movies. Or even, I don't know if y'all ever watched the blood-clad name of that show, Mindhunters. That, but with a Nazi. I'm not familiar with the historical events itself and how faithful this adaptation and story is to what actually happened, but it's very heavy. There's especially a scene. It's an interesting character played by Lee Woodall, sergeant, a soldier. At some point, he has a conversation with Remy Malik. It's a very emotional scene. It's a very heavy monologue. Can imagine how much work that might have taken for the actor himself to do. And just that scene of them just talking about the goings-ons and such, it had me locked in. It's just two guys just shooting the shit. And yes, I would give this a high recommend. It's not just for historical buffs, as It's a movie for everyone that everyone should watch. As the crux of the message, if you ask me, the lesson that this movie is striving to impart is that somebody has to keep their eye on the ball. We can't pretend that this happened in a vacuum or pretend that it will never happen again, because in a modern world such things can't happen. It's in Remy Malek's character is kind of driven insane by the fact that the psychological of profile of a Nazi can be found anywhere in the world, and at any given time one of these men might come to power, and we will have our freedoms and democracy snatched away. Hence the comparison to whatever the modern day equivalent might be. Freedom and democracy are not free commodities. It must be fought for, it must be preserved, and the bad actors on the world stage must be observed and condemned when they get out of line. To me, this was the definition of a horror movie. I know it was meant as a historical epic of sorts, but this felt more like a horror movie. Because you look around now and you might see things like this happening, and the world is silent. And it's not just in reference to the Jews and what happened to them. It could happen to anyone, any demographic. All it takes is the wrong person in power with terrible intent. So if I'm gonna rate this at all, I will certainly give it a 10 out of 10. The performances were fantastic, the writing was great, the editing, it moved at a clipped pace. Some of the cinematography, I don't know who was involved, but I love the way it was filmed. James Vanderbilt was an excellent director for this. This might have been a passion project, I'm not sure. So yeah, 10 out of 10. If it has to be on the shaggy scale, it's a Mr. Bombastic, definitely. So yeah, I know I'm a bit somber. Sorry, it's the subject matter maybe. It doesn't allow me to be my usual spark self. But yeah, go out and give this a watch. Yeah, and as per usual, upon the African Geekdom, this has been Aina Yaman JP. Please leave a like and subscribe. Live long and prosper. May the force be with you. May the odds be ever in your favor. Wakanda forever, my ninjas. I'll catch y'all on the next one. Chewing.